Good morning, one and all. Sunday morning. I'm up. I've just done weighing. I'm putting my kit back on. There's all the shenanigans. Just getting redressed. Let's put this down over here somewhere. Oh, here we go. That'll do. So, obviously, just completely stripped off, and I got on the both the sets of scales over there, and I did the reading like 10 times, I think it was. The most consistent reading was 96.20, and I'd come down, overall I'd lost a kilo. So yeah, it's clearly working, clearly. But also the lads have noticed, they're like, you can see your face is just completely changed, and you're dropping fat in different places. So yeah, so I've got the pictures, used 2 sets of scales. Obviously the bigger set are more accurate because they're like proper like weight scales. So that's good, and I was completely stripped off, down to nothing. Now get everything back on, do some cardio, warm up, and then go into stretch and see what timings I've got and go from there. If I can get in the pool before we head out, I will. If not, when we come back in, I'll get in the pool, because it could make timings hard. Plus, the pool is freezing. It is super cold. It was pissing down here all yesterday. The wind's up. That means just would have dropped the ambient temperature, so the water would have gone down even more. So yeah, and even one of the geezers got in the pool yesterday and he was like, "Mate, that's chilly." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." He goes, "I did like 6 minutes or 5 minutes, I think." I was like, "Yeah, I've been doing like 22. And he was like, "Right, okay." But it was good that, he got in there as well, because obviously his good partner does lots of open water swim coach stuff. So, and for him to go, "Yeah, it was chilly," he was like, "Yeah, fair one. That's good then." So it's not just me thinking it. Try and get hold of a thermometer. Get one of the geezers to bring one back. And I need to get hold of a tape measure so I can measure my body parts, thighs, chest, etc., etc. Because on the app that I'm using, Body Fast, it's a really good app. It is good for sure, and it's helping me plan out my meals, all the timings, record all the different variables. Yeah, it's super easy to use. Well, I think it is. So job's a good one. I'm going to try and get hold of a tape measure, try and get hold of a thermometer. I'm making a log of all the different, all my different timings, all the different dates. I think this is like the 15th day in the pool, which is good. And I'm doing the times that I'm going in there. I want to put the temperatures that when I'm going in there, and putting down my body mass. So I'm only going to weigh myself like once a week, because if not, it's too much. Other than that, it's just going to be visual. But it's quite tricky because visual is one of the best ways to do it, I think, because you lose it in different places all the time. And also having someone who's got a good eye, who will give you a very, non-bullshit answer and go, "Yeah, you look good there, you look good there. Yeah, that's that. You've lost it off your back, you've lost it off your arse, you've lost it off your leg, you've lost it on your face, you've lost." Because you lose it every at different points, and different people lose it in different ways. Maybe some of the last bits you hold on to could be your stomach. It could be the last bit you hold on to is on your back. But I'm not doing that for a show. So I'm not doing some extreme, crazy diet. Obviously my last meal was like 7:30, 8 o'clock Friday night. I'm going to train now, so this is my 3rd training session fasted since Friday night, so that's coming up to like 30 hours now. By the time I eat, it's going to be, depending if I eat at 8 or 9, that's going to be like 32 hours. I feel fine, I feel totally fine. I've just been having lemon water and black coffee. I'm not a big fan of green tea unless it's sweet, and clearly I can't have it sweet. So black coffee I prefer, and with the lemon as well. So that's all good. So yeah. Nike Pegasus. So I've got my gear back on, other than the shoe that's supporting you. I'm going to do a warm up now, and then do my stretch mobility and go get it done, and then hit the pool, and then back in tonight. Had a really good bag session last night, which was really good. Kicks felt good, striking felt good, shadow boxing was good, footwork was good. On the power curve felt really good. I was powering it out on that last night. I want to. Now the lads on the team are making a big point of hitting 5 miles in 30 minutes. I want to smash that again. So I used to hammer that. And I know I can do it because I definitely wasn't going as fast as I can go. I like the power curve because it burns 30% more calories than everything else. And in 20 minutes last night, I'd already burned what it takes me like an hour to do on the cross trainer. But like I've said before, I think my joints are still good because I've done a hell of a lot of work on low impact machines, not high impact. Because of that cylindrical movement and going backwards and forwards, I think my knees are good, and I think my ankles are good, and I think my back's good. I think if I was constantly running, you know, on something hard, I'd be trashed. I would be trashed. Definitely. But when I get home, I'm back on Dartmoor, I'm back up in the forest, and I'm gonna hit it off-road, and I'm gonna, because I really enjoy being off-road, I really do. I do not like road running. It just bores me to, yeah, I'm just like, ugh. Unless it's around my local area where I've got loads of really savage hills, and I know I can work hard on those hills. Other than that, I just get mind numb. I'm just like, this is crap. But if it's a challenging route, then it is good to get on those sections. But to get off road and get through the forest, that's what I kind of really enjoy. And mountain biking and tabbing. Again, I want to get back and I want to hit, you know, that 10 miles in like an hour. I don't know, hour 20, hour 30, something like that. Just shift it. Should easily be able to do it. Easy with 55 pound plus simulated weapon. So yeah, so that's the sketch, but that's not going to be for ages yet. That's not going to be till March, till I go to do that, and then I'm going to be hitting that hard. I'll be hitting that hard. I really want to get back into horse riding. I do miss horse riding loads, but my aim: get the farm, get the horses, get the dogs. I should make this happen, and I have the way. So, but now get that shoe on that is supporting you, and do a warm up, and then start on the top and go back, like I said yesterday. And jobs are good and Fanny's your arm, and then graze feed. Also, my stomach's would have shrunk loads. This morning, my first meal was going to be like real good protein hit, and then probably an hour later, I'm going to put some. Oh, I tell you what I did last night, and this was hard. I was hungry, and you do get hungry clearly because you're fasting. But when you do, you have your water, you have your coffee. That's cool. Then you have a good idea. I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep my overnight oats, and I'm going to put loads of Reese peanut butter on top of them. Yeah, that's a great idea. Go to the fridge, get out my oats, open it up, and wow, I was like, oh, I want to eat this. I then put loads of Reese peanut butter on it, and I was like, I so want to eat this. And I was like, I went to, and I didn't even think about it. I nearly went to put the spoon in my mouth and literally suck all the peanut butter off. I went, no, Jesus. And that was willpower, because I like that stuff. I'm like, no. I tell you what I could do, having some of that Grenade carb killer. That Grenade carb killer is the white and the I just could eat it. We have actually found it out here, the lads have found out here, but it's like gold dust. So if you can find it, it'd be great. Plus rice cakes, I'm gonna find rice cakes. But anyway, so that goes on a tangent. So that tested my willpower. I think that tested my willpower more than it does getting into the pool. Because I was like, so good. It's like a moth to a flame. Ah. So, yeah. I do like peanut butter. But Reese's peanut butter, oh, that's good stuff. Yeah. It was probably lucky it wasn't chocolate spread as well. Also, what I did was on Friday and Saturday, I made sure I stayed away from brunch because there's loads of goodies up there, and I'm like, I'm just gonna screw it up for myself because it'll just do my head in. Because there's chocolate sauce and there's loads of goodies. But what I'm gonna do this morning is I will, as soon as I see the chefs going up, then I will go upstairs, see my friendly chefs, have them make 2 or maybe just 1, a couple of omelettes, put them in 2 separate boxes, collect some more water. I'll have egg and tuna, have those, and that adds to what I've got. And I've got a ton of steak and eggs and all loads of stuff, and chicken already, and broccoli, and loads of veg over in the villa. So that's good. I like my food. I do like my food, and I would prefer to spend money on good food and good diet than going on the piss. I've done that. It didn't actually do me any good. It just wasted tons of money, which is there's nothing wrong with that because it's good to get out and socialise. But these days, I make that call for myself. Do I want to go and spend it on that, or do I want to spend it on this? I want to spend it on this because this is good for me. That is just a complete waste. So it's like that. Yes, thank you, and I eat well, and I like to eat well. But here, you don't have to pay for it, so happy days. So, I get to eat really well, and the chefs are really good to me, and they give me good food, and it's mega, it's great. It's like, nice one, chefs. So yeah, and then today will be graze feeding. And then it'll be graze feeding up to like, I don't know. I'll train this evening. I will eat again after training, and then I'll fast overnight, and then it'll be graze feeding again. And then it will just roll forwards, and I'll redo my schedule for the following coming week. And then I'll do another long, then it'll be the fasting will change between X number of hours on, X number of hours off. You have like 20 hours fasting, X number of hours eating, and then it just keeps moving. And then you do a really long one. So I've just, by the end of doing the end of this one, that'll be like I said, anything 30, 32, 34 hours, something like that. It all depends on what time I finish. So, I've got it on my app, so I can check. So no worries. And jobs are good, and I feel great. So I'm gonna get on and do this cardio now. Then I'm doing as I've said, doing this whole body maintenance and rehab and stretch work. I've got this really good liniment oil, which is for helping me cure my injury, which I'm getting on my shoulder. And the interesting thing I find about fasting is that it eats bad cells. So I'm like, well, will that help fix my shoulder? There's been proven studies that it helps type 2 diabetes. And there's a good buddy of mine who I grew up with. He came back from being overseas. His mum had type 2 diabetes and loads of other problems. And he was like, I want to sort you out. And he'd been away like over in the tropics doing all sorts. And he got his mum onto fasting because he'd obviously got really into it when overseas, and totally squared her away. And she was in a bad way. And so clearly it does something good. If you can go from she was in a really bad place to now really healthy, maybe doctors and people should look at stuff like this and get the greater populace who might need that to possibly look at doing it. It's an interesting subject. I think knowledge is power. I think you should educate yourselves, and if it can help people rather than pills and potions and surgery and God knows what, just by having a bit of discipline and about eating in a certain way, Doesn't that save lots of money for the government, for the NHS, for medical problems, for the medical bills, for this and that? And it's like, simple, don't eat, fast, and then eat properly. Isn't that a win-win? I think it is, isn't it? So, loads of people so far are like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's no factor. It's not, I have not found it an issue, and I eat a lot. Everyone here, wow, you eat loads. So if I can eat loads, and I'm constantly, and then go to nothing, then, you know, I think anyone else, but obviously, yeah, I do have good willpower, and yes, I've got good discipline, and yes, I can be very structured, and yes, I can be very, you know, to the point, and obviously maybe other people aren't the same as me, but I firmly believe if you decide you want to do something, you will do it, especially if you decide you want to do it for yourself. If you decide to do it for yourself, and you hold on to that, and you take grasp, and you take control of it, and you own it, and you take full ownership of it, then you will get it done for you. No one else can do it for you. You have to want to do it. If you decide, I want to do that, then you go and get it done. And I'm proving that right now. I prove it every time I get in a pool. I prove it every time that I fast. I prove it every time that I've got, even coming in the gym, that's proving it, because I'm like, going training. Not sitting there, going training. Right, I'm getting on my skills board. I'm doing my reps. I'm proving it, discipline. Just everything. You know, you're like what McRaven said, getting up in the morning and making your bed. That one thing. And like on that speech when he talks about that, I'm like, everyone's like, what, make your bed? And I was fucking, no, he makes a point, because at the end of the day, even though how shit a day you've had, when you've got up in the morning, you've had that tiny little bit of discipline and made your bed. When you come home at night and you've had the worst possible day, you're gonna have a nice, fresh, squared away bed to get into and relax and reset, and then get after it again the next day. And I was like, mate, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And the speech that he gave at that university, I was like, that's a cool speech, you know? To those young kids who like literally passing off, I was like, that is a cool speech. And it was very inspiring and very motivating. I was like, and the way that he put it, I was like, mate, that's bang on the money. Fair play to you. So yeah. As Jocko says, discipline equals freedom. And that's very true. I think I totally get it. Totally get it. Anyways, enough of me chopping off after 18 minutes. My bloody hands. Getting hammered. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Be interesting to see, you know, as I progress and how long I do it for, what happens. For sure, you know. Obviously, if I got to a point and I was hanging out, then yeah, no, I'd be like, no, right, that's stop that. Or I don't know. But if you think back, if you go back, you know, hundreds in whatever X number of years, when everyone was running around being like your hunter-gatherers, then we would have naturally been into that fasting cycle anyway. Because there's sometimes when we would have caught food, and there's other times when we wouldn't. And when we didn't, that's when we would have naturally fast, or we would have then gathered something else. And so your meals would just go up and down, because it's just a natural diet. So I think fasting is actually a very natural way to eat. And especially if you have it with a structured, good diet. Often, you know, yeah. And also, I was thinking about it, when I go back to the UK, when I go and I get my weekly shop, it's going to be pretty much like either halved or quartered. Or maybe it'll be 3/4 of it, but whatever it's going to be less, because there's going to be sections where I don't need to eat. And I'm like, okay, well, that's great. And then when I do need to eat, I'll just eat good protein, good oils, good whatever. So I'm like, man, it's a win-win. So it's helping my performance, it's helping my body fat, it's helping me, it's just everything overall. And then it's helping me financially as well. Again, so it's a win-win. I mean, I don't see how anyone can complain when it's a win-win. Oh, but it's like, okay, well then you're not in that place where you need to sort your shit out and you're not actually prepared, so you're just a victim. Shit bust, you're a victim because you're not going to take charge. And I'm not being horrible, that's just a fact. Either you take charge and you're a winner and you get on with it, or you're a loser and you can't be asked and you just come up with excuses for everything. A winner makes it happen. A loser just doesn't. They just jack. They just fail. They're just like, no. It's like, nah, it's all right. You go that way. I'm going this way. See you later. Bye. So I think it's a personal choice. You figure it out. Everyone has their own reason. Whatever reason you have, you decide why you're going to do it. If you're going to do it, then do it. Get it done. Don't just talk shit. Go and get it done. Well, I'm wasting time. I need to get on with this. Right, that's now hitting 21 minutes. I'm going to get this done. It's going to be a busy day. Getting good food. Not sure what the chef should be upstairs in the next hour. Actually, no, maybe soon. Actually, I'll pop up, see them. I'll probably half my cardio. Maybe just do half an hour, just to warm up. Get on that cross trainer and go from there. Back forwards and backwards. Cross trainer tonight. I want to get on the power curve again tonight. Me and Crazy Spider Monkey want to hit jiu-jitsu. We both were shadow boxing on the bag last night, so we've got to hit jiu-jitsu. And I'm thinking we might flick-flack it every night. And then at the end of that, do cardio. Either run in the gym, doing shuttle runs, or getting on that power curve. Because I want to push my running up. And I like running on that power curve, it's a beast. So that is the grand plan. Fight camp, 8 weeks, smashing it. Boom. Let's get this done.